She's winning the tournament.
Eala?
Yep.
Oh,
Wow. Why do you say that?
mic drop from Anico.
I don't have to elaborate.
Here's a word in the ambassador's sentence, and you probably scrolled right past it. It's 3 letters, MAP. And when a career diplomat, a person whose entire professional life is spent trying to make his country legible to the world, uses that word about a 21-year-old with a tennis racket, he is not paying her a compliment. He is admitting something. That admission is what this video is about. Her name is Alexandra Eala. She is Filipina. As I record this, she is ranked number 20 in the world, the highest any Filipina tennis player has ever climbed, man or woman, in the entire history of the sport. And in the last 3 weeks, an unusual thing has happened. Philippine embassies from Abu Dhabi to Oslo, the WTA's own official channels, senators from opposing sides of a bitter impeachment trial, the chairman of the Washington Open, and even the American opponent she beat in the final have all independently reached for the same 3 words to describe her: on the map. So, here is the question this whole video exists to answer. Why did an ambassador, someone whose job is putting a country on the map, just publicly hand that job to a 21-year-old? Because if that transfer is real, it changes what we just witnessed in Washington, and it changes what happens next. Now, most of the coverage of Alex Eala over the last few weeks has been about the trophy, and that coverage is fair. The trophy is real, the trophy is historic, and we will get to the trophy, but the trophy is the smaller story. The bigger story is what the reaction to the trophy revealed about what she has quietly become for a country of 115 million people and a diaspora scattered across every continent on Earth. Because there is a specific difference between the way a nation congratulates a great athlete and the way a nation congratulates a symbol. A great athlete gets praised for the achievement. A symbol gets praised for the country. And every single sentence spoken about Eala in early August of 2026, from the palace, from the Senate floor, from the embassies, from the WTA, from her own opponent standing beside her at the trophy ceremony, every one of those sentences was about the country, not the forehand, not the ranking, the country. That is the tell. That is what we are going to unpack. And if you want to follow along as this story develops through the US Open and beyond, this is what the channel does. Long form, evidence-led, no invented drama. Subscribe if that is your thing. Alex Eala is 21 years old. She was born in Manila. She trained for years at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, which you already know if you have watched anything about her, so we will not linger there. In 2022, she won the girls' singles title at the US Open, which made her the first Filipino junior Grand Slam singles champion. And it was at that moment that the tennis world quietly started paying attention. Before this month, her biggest senior moments were an Eastbourne final in 2025 and a 4th-round run at Wimbledon a few weeks before Washington. Those were the appetizers. On August 3, 2026, in a rain-delayed final in Washington, D.C., she beat the top seed, world number 3, Jessica Pegula, 4-6, 6-4, 6-love, and became the first player from the Philippines in the entire Open era of tennis, going back to 1968, to win a WTA Tour-level singles title. That is who she is. Everything from here is about what that means. So, let us slow down and look at 3 things that, when you place them side by side, do not fit the ordinary story of a promising young player winning her first title. Hold each of them lightly, we are going to come back. The first strange thing is the language. When Manny Pacquiao won world titles, Philippine ambassadors congratulated him. When Hidilyn Diaz won weightlifting gold at the Tokyo Olympics, Philippine ambassadors congratulated her. When Carlos Yulo won 2 gymnastics golds in Paris, same thing. This is standard. It is what embassies do. But go read the actual sentences the embassies used for Eala. The Philippine embassy in the United Arab Emirates, under Ambassador Alfonso Ferdinand Ver, put out a video message that did not center the trophy at all. It centered the diaspora, the Filipino community's unwavering support. The Philippine embassy in Norway congratulated her not for the win, but for what the win means for national visibility. The WTA's own official social channels on the tournament's own account captioned her post-match interview with 3 words, especially the Filipino community. And international press from the Daily Star in Bangladesh to outlets across Europe ran headlines using the identical phrase, puts the Philippines on the world tennis map. Why does that specific verb, put us on the map, keep showing up? Ambassadors do not usually talk that way about athletes. Hold that, we come back to it. The second strange thing is the crowd. Washington, D.C. is roughly 8,500 miles from Manila. This was not a home tournament. It was played in the American capital on American hard courts against, among others, the top-ranked American woman. And yet, Eala's opponents kept describing her matches as feeling like away games for them. Jessica Pegula, at the trophy ceremony, standing beside the woman who had just beaten her, turned to the crowd and said, "This is a direct quote, to all the Filipino fans that came out, you are helping grow tennis around the world." Mark Ine, the chairman of the Washington Open, the man who owns the tournament, publicly said the Filipino presence changed the character of his event, which raises a very specific question that nobody in the tennis press has really answered. Those Filipino fans were not flown in by a federation. There is no national tennis charter that pays for spectators. Those people live in the D.C., Virginia, Maryland corridor. They already live there. So, who exactly filled that stadium? And why did an American tournament chairman treat their presence as a turning point for the sport, not just for the tournament? Hold that, too. The third strange thing is smaller, and it will look trivial until you sit with it. When the US Open opened online sales for the 2026 tournament, they sold player-branded kits, the outfits each athlete will wear during the tournament, in the athlete's actual sponsor colorways. According to reporting from Tennis World USA on August 21st, the first women's kit to sell out was Alex Eala's, not Aryna Sabalenka's, not Coco Gauff's, not Iga Swiatek's. Eala's. She is ranked number 20. There are 19 players ranked ahead of her, several of them with much larger, established fan bases, all of whom had kits in the same store. If ranking drove commerce, that number should not exist. And yet it does. So, what exactly is driving it? Hold that one. It matters more than it looks like it does, and it is going to fold directly into what I am about to tell you next. Because here is the assumption you have been making this whole time, and I have been making it, too, until I started actually reading the sentences the embassies wrote. You have been assuming that when a Filipino ambassador says Alex Eala put us on the tennis map, he is doing the thing ambassadors do at ceremonies. He is being warm. He is being generous. He is offering a graceful, slightly inflated compliment to a young athlete who did well. That is the ordinary reading. That is the reading almost every viewer arrived at. And I am telling you now that reading is wrong because listen carefully to the specific words being used. Senator Kiko Pangilinan, on the record in an official statement carried by the Philippine Daily Inquirer, said this, quote, "Because of Alex, the Philippines is gradually gaining recognition in the world of tennis." Read that sentence again. The word to circle is gradually gaining, not continuing to shine, not reaffirming her place, gradually gaining recognition. That is a diplomat's hedge. That is a state actor telling you on the record that the recognition was not there before, and now, because of one 21-year-old, it is beginning to appear. So, here is the flip. Ambassadors exist to put countries on maps. That is the job. That is the entire function of diplomatic representation abroad, to make your country legible, visible, familiar, real to people who otherwise would not think about it. When a Philippine ambassador publicly says, in effect, that Alex Eala did that for us, he's not being generous. He is being accurate. He is describing a transfer of function, and that reframes the entire moment because it means Eala is not simply representing the Philippines abroad in the ordinary athlete ambassador sense we are all used to. She is outperforming the actual ambassadors at their core professional task, and Philippine officialdom just admitted it. On the record, out loud, in Instagram videos and Senate floor speeches and international press releases, that is why the sentences sound the way they sound. They are not compliments, they are confessions. Take a breath here. I want you to sit with that idea for a moment because it changes how you hear everything that comes next. It changes what the crowd in DC actually was. It changes what the trophy ceremony actually was. It changes what the Senate applause actually was. None of those events were sports events. They were diplomatic events wearing sports clothes. Okay, let us prove it. Proof number 1 is the numbers, because if what I am telling you is real, the trajectory should look impossible under any ordinary framework, and it does. Eala entered the Washington, D.C. Open ranked 56th in the world. That is a solid ranking. It is not a great ranking. Players ranked 56th in the world do not typically beat the third-ranked player in a final. Over the course of 1 week, she beat Zhang Qinwen, the reigning Olympic gold medalist. She beat Leylah Fernandez, the defending champion of the very tournament she was playing. She beat Alina Svitolina, a former top 5 player and multiple-time Grand Slam semi-finalist. She beat Naomi Osaka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion. And then she beat Pegula. According to the WTA's own official rankings watch published after the tournament, that title propelled her 8 places in 1 week to a career-high number 20, making her the first Filipino ever to enter the WTA top 20. Days later at Cincinnati, she recorded, per Cali Times reporting, the first singles win by any Filipina at a WTA 1000 event, beating Clara Tauson 6-2, 2-6, 7-6 in the third set tiebreak. Every single one of those achievements is a first. That word matters. A first means the Philippines had no prior data point in that specific category, 0. And now, in the span of about 10 days, the Philippines has data points in all of them, and they all belong to the same person. That is not gradual. That is a country inventing a category in real time, and it is exactly what a diplomat is trained to hear as a shift in national visibility. Proof number 2 is the chorus, because if one ambassador used the phrase on the map, you could call it a coincidence. If 2 used it, you could call it talking points. But listen to the range of voices independently reaching for the same frame in the same week. Ambassador Ver in the UAE centered the diaspora, not the trophy, in his official message. The Philippine embassy in Norway posted a formal congratulations that emphasized international recognition. The WTA's own official caption on their own social channels distilled her entire post-match interview down to 5 words, especially the Filipino community. Mark Ine, the American businessman who owns the Washington Open, made a public statement that industry press covered as a bold claim about what her presence meant for the tournament's future. And Pegula, standing beside her, holding the runner-up plate, Pegula could have said anything. Pegula could have talked about her own game, her own disappointment, her own tournament. What Pegula chose to say on live international television was, to all the Filipino fans that came out, you are helping grow tennis around the world. I appreciate that being a female athlete and being in tennis, we love to see that grow. Read that quote back to yourself. Pegula is not congratulating IGA on winning. Pegula is congratulating the crowd on existing. That is a diplomat's speech delivered by a tennis player. Every one of these voices, the ambassador, the embassy, the tour, the tournament owner, the opponent, is describing the same thing from different angles, a before and an after, a country that was not visible on this particular map and now is. That is not a coincidence of phrasing. That is a chorus. Give yourself another beat here, because the third proof is the one that closes the argument, and I want you seeing it clearly when it lands. Proof number 3 happened on August 5, 2026, and it did not happen on a tennis court. It happened in the Philippine Senate in the middle of the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte, one of the most polarizing legal proceedings in the country's recent history. A proceeding that had spent weeks producing daily headlines about how divided the chamber was, how opposed the prosecution and defense were, how impossible agreement had become. On the 12th day of that trial, according to reporting by the Philippine Daily Inquirer, presiding officer Senator Francis Escudero opened the session with a statement. He said, even though our views may differ and although both sides are opposing each other in the impeachment court, there are things we should all agree on and unite behind, especially for those who stayed up late last night watching TV. For me, one of those is the victory and championship of our talented and courageous fellow Filipino, Alex Eala. And the entire chamber, whether prosecution, defense, senator judges from every faction, applauded. Together, in the middle of an impeachment trial, senators from opposing camps filed identical commendation resolutions. Senator Villanueva called it one of the greatest achievements in Philippine sports history. Senator Ejercito called it legendary. Senator Tulfo, from a different political camp entirely, called it a defining moment for the country. This is what a symbol can do that an ambassador cannot. An ambassador can represent the country abroad. Only a symbol can unite the room at home while simultaneously representing the country abroad. That day in that chamber, Philippine officialdom did not just say Eala put them on the map. Philippine officialdom stood up and physically demonstrated it. The applause was the proof, and that is why the ambassadors sound the way they sound. They were not exaggerating. The Senate itself agreed with them. Now, and this is important, I owe you the limits of this argument because a reframe that only works when you are looking at the flattering angles is not a reframe worth having. So here is what all of this does not prove. It does not prove that Alex Eala is now a top-tier player on the WTA Tour. She is ranked number 20, which is remarkable, but she has not won a WTA 1000 event. She has not reached a Grand Slam quarterfinal, and the week after Washington, she lost in the third round of Cincinnati to Amanda Anisimova, 4-6, 6-4, 6-2, after leading the match. That loss is real. It sits in the record. Her ceiling as a tennis player is still being tested, and pretending otherwise would be exactly the kind of manufactured drama this channel refuses to sell you. It also does not prove that Filipino tennis has developed depth. Eala is a single data point. There is no second Filipino woman anywhere near her on the tour. The infrastructure question that Senator Pangilinan raised about grassroots funding and long-term development is still an open question, and it is a fair one, and there is genuine uncertainty ahead. The Washington crowd effect was extraordinary. Whether that effect travels to New York, to a much larger tournament at a much larger venue with a diaspora distributed differently across the northeastern United States is genuinely unknown as of this recording. The US Open main draw begins on August 24th. Her first-round opponent will be posted on the official US Open draw. I am not going to name it in this video because the single-source reporting I have seen has been contradictory, and I would rather you check the official draw than repeat something that might be wrong. What I can tell you is that this is her first appearance in a Grand Slam main draw as a direct entrant on ranking, not as a wildcard or qualifier. That matters. And the answer to whether Washington was a one-week magic trick or the beginning of something structural, that answer is going to arrive over the next fortnight in front of all of us in real time. So, here is where we land. Come back with me to the beginning, to the word in the ambassador sentence you probably scrolled past, MAP. An ambassador's job, and the entire professional purpose of the office, is to make a country legible to the world, to place it, to introduce it, to fix it in the imagination of people who otherwise would not think about it. That is the job. On August 3, 2026, a 21-year-old with a Wilson racket did that job in 3 hours on primetime American television in front of a diaspora that had always been there, but had never before been seen together in that particular light. And when Philippine officialdom reached for language to describe what happened, they did not reach for the language of sport. They reached for the language of their own profession. That is why the sentences sound diplomatic, because they are diplomatic. That number, 20, that career-high ranking, is not the number that made her a great tennis player. She has been a great tennis player for years. 20 is the number that made her a diplomat. It is the number that made her presence unignorable to the room she now walks into. Whatever happens in New York, win, lose, deep run, first-round exit, that transfer of function has already occurred. Pegula confirmed it at the trophy ceremony. The Senate confirmed it on the impeachment floor. The embassies confirmed it in 3 different countries in the same week. And now you know why they all said the same thing in the same words at the same time. This is what she represents, not a first title, but a country becoming visible through one person. So here is my question for you. And I want the ones who have been thinking about this to actually answer it. If you were the Philippine ambassador watching that DC final on television, would she put us on the map feel like a compliment you were giving or a job you were losing? Tell me below. I read them. And I will see you when the US Open draw opens because whatever happens next, we are watching it together from here.